All right, Chrissy G, welcome to the show. I don't even know where to start with this. I'm so excited. I've got so many questions for you. Are you ready?
Ready.
Chrissy, just give everybody just a really quick summary of your professional life and kind
Sure.
of where that started and where you at now.
All right. Thanks so much for having me, Brett. So the journey's been long and short at the same time. I have my doctorate just for the Juris Doctorate, so not as fun as MDs, but I'm an attorney to say the least. I'm also a corporate real estate broker, meaning that I have a corporation that I'm able to have other agents work under me and kind of work with commercial, residential, sales, purchases, different acquisitions, and we're able to help people that are looking to purchase real estate, sell real estate, guide them accordingly. I also fix and flip houses on the side. That's fun. Definitely more of a hobby that's turned into a fruitful way of adding some extra income too.
The JD path, what was your or is your specialty in law?
Sure. I'm a personal injury attorney, so I am handling all injury cases. We have 3 offices here in New York, one that's on the border of Brooklyn and Queens, one that's in the Bronx, and our newest office, the biggest one, is in Nassau County in Hempstead, right by all the ports. And we handle any type of injury. We handle whether they're injured on the job, whether it's a construction accident, car accident, ceiling collapse, trip and fall, all that fun stuff. So we work hand in hand with a lot of physicians. We do also no-fault recovery, which is when the doctors aren't getting paid from the insurance companies for their bills. We fight for them and we get them that money through that route as well.
There's something called Lady Shark, How to Become a Millionaire in Your 30s.
Yes.
Where does this come with the law path and real estate? Like, where did this Lady Shark? This is a book, right?
Yes. So the newest addition to my resume is I'm also now an author. My book will be coming out on June 11th. If you go to theladyshark.com, you can grab a copy or get yourself on the list to get a copy. And basically, I'm the guru of everyone coming to me for knowledge, information, not only with real estate, which is a huge chunk of it, but how to make money, how to get from your 9 to 5, paycheck to paycheck, to more financial freedom. So I figured, why not get a book together and give it to the world and hope that, it can help more people than just my inner circle.
Give us just a snapshot of the Chrissy G that we don't want to face as a landlord or a property investor who hasn't, dotted our I's and crossed our T's. What is that like? Who is Chrissy G like at that moment?
You always want to play nice prior to entering in the courtroom and try to settle things and negotiate things appropriately, because relationships really are key in any business that you have. You'd be surprised how quickly you cross paths with people that you think you'll be seeing one time, and then they'll be repetitive. Even though New York, I call New York the personal injury capital of the world, it's still very close knit, and where one person, everyone knows everyone. So I try to play nice, and if that's not able to happen and you're needing to go before a judge, I definitely leave nothing left, to be said. I try to keep going and going. I'll ask the judge, should I continue? Until the point that the judge is like, I think we got it.
What about the entity structure? Do you have any suggestions?
Oh, for sure. You never want to use your
owners?
personal name. Oh, yeah, that's such a good point. Yep, I guess I bypassed that one because for me it's just logical, but huge. That's totally a big thing that needs to be focused on, especially when we're talking about professionals, where if you're exposed personally, that's a huge thing. You want to make sure that there's no way to pierce the corporate veil, meaning that you're in a corporate entity, that a corporate entity is performing and acting as such. Basically, what does that mean? It's easy to have a corporate entity, but then, maybe you go shopping at a certain store and you might use your corporate credit card, or you may dip into certain funds and use them for personal use. You want to really try to keep it separate and apart. You want to, let's say, have one corporate entity purchasing the property, and then you can, if let's say you're using, there's physicians. So let's say you're using part of your building that you now purchased as an acquisition as your own office or your own practice, you want to make sure that you are renting from the entity that purchased the property as a another corporation. So you don't have any personal names anywhere, because God forbid there's a trip and fall outside. They're going to come after the building owner as well as the rentee. So if you're doing both of those things with your personal name, they're not coming after you personally, where there's umbrella policies of God knows how many. And unfortunately, more times than not, magically there will be multiple surgeries on someone that knows that there's $10 million versus maybe 1 million or $500,000 of coverage, et cetera, et cetera. So you definitely want to protect yourself against personal liability.
What's life look like for you right now? Are you still focused on buying holds? You know, you've got that commercial brokerage. Are you holding multifamilies? I don't. As an attorney, you don't want to disclose too much, right? Just in a little bit.
I may or may not have a few properties.
Yeah. And from
yes,
New York
definitely.
at that. There's a whole nother language there.
Right, exactly.
Yep.
You always want to watch what you say, but I think that, you know, you again learn the hard way with that as well. But realistically, it's good to diversify. The newest office that we just opened up in Hempstead is the newest acquisition that we did obtain as a new company and a new entity, and that the Grigoropoulos Law Group will be renting from. But that's one of the newest. I'm always looking for good deals. You always want to try to not leave money sitting in the bank. As much as it feels good to be like, hey, this is here, we have this cushion, it's great, but liquid never helps you. It will only hurt you, you know, in theory, by just sitting there. It's basically like water. Lingering water is only going to attract mosquitoes.
Cash
in theory, you know.
So. Yeah.
So we always try to look for good deals. I love my standard fix and flip, you know, even for a one family house to get it dirt cheap, maybe a foreclosure or a pre-foreclosure property. Those are great. Try to make a good relationship with your local contractor and, you know, get a couple bids from a few different contractors. And I personally like designing my stuff myself, because my father, you know, started in this realm as a general contractor. So he worked his way up from, you know, the bottom. So I enjoy going to Home Depot and picking out my stuff and going to the marble places and the granite and making things work. But from a hobby, it could be fun. It could be a little weekend project that you get help with, and you're able to just make sure the margins make sense, and you can continue growing at least a side business in that respect.